A woman was abandoned by her husband, lost her career, lost her figure, and raised 3 children alone in a cramped rented apartment. Everyone thought she would collapse. But just 1 year later, she appeared on the front page of the New York Times, becoming a symbol of resilience. So what happened between the depths of suffering and the peak of glory? This is not a fairy tale. This is the real-life journey of a mother who proved that if you don't give up, life won't give up on you. That afternoon, when she forced herself to open the message that read, "I agree to the divorce," Meyer was standing at the entrance of the kindergarten, holding 2 small lunchboxes prepared for her twin children. A light rain had started to fall. She felt as if something heavy was pressing down on her heart. Even though the matter had been discussed clearly between the two for months, those few short words still struck her like a verdict crashing down on her life. 3 children, a government apartment, and a body that was no longer the same. It all seemed to corner Meyer into a small space, where she was forced to ask herself, how do I live now? Meyer had once been a nutritionist, had modeled for magazines, and appeared on television programs. But those golden days were long gone. After giving birth 3 times, her body no longer fit the standards expected by clients. Her professional certifications had expired. She needed to retrain, update her knowledge, and start again from zero. The next morning, the sky was still gloomy. Meyer woke up at 4:45 a.m. She put on an old workout outfit, slipped into a pair of worn-out running shoes, and stepped out of the house into the early morning chill. For the first time in years, she ran. Not to be healthy, but to keep from going insane. She ran through empty streets, breathing deeply to hide the tears welling up. Every step was a silent reminder to herself, don't collapse, don't stop. Each lap pushed Meyer further away from feelings of failure, shame, and fear. She started eating seriously again, measuring every gram of protein, every drop of olive oil. The diet was strict but effective. In just 3 weeks, she lost nearly 5 kilograms. But that was the easy part. During the day, she took care of her 3 children. At night, she opened her old laptop, plugged in her headphones, and studied online. She took notes, did homework, and sent emails to her professors. The new nutrition knowledge had changed a lot, forcing her to relearn everything from the beginning. Many nights, her eyes were so tired that the letters on the screen seemed to dance. On some nights, she hid in the bathroom, closed the door, and cried silently in heavy sobs. But after all that, she wiped her face, looked in the mirror, and told herself, crying doesn't feed my kids. Working does. 6 months later, Meyer had lost 12 kilograms. She received a new nutrition certification from the National Association. It wasn't just a piece of paper. It was a weapon, a hope, a ticket back into the world. The 45-square-meter apartment was reorganized. One corner of the living room was transformed into a nutrition consulting space. She placed a small wooden desk, a wrought tan chair for clients, and carefully framed and hung 2 certificates on the wall. Not to show off, but to remind herself, I didn't give up. Her first client was a mother from the same building, whose child had trouble eating. Then came a former friend who called her. Then one day, a mother who had been following her on social media brought her child in for a consultation. Good news travels fast. Though her income was still modest, Meyer felt alive again. Each successful consultation was a brick rebuilding her self-worth. Each returning client brought with them words of gratitude, eyes full of trust, something she had lacked throughout the long, silent years of her marriage. Despite being busy, Meyer always kept her promise. Weekends belonged to her 3 children. On Saturdays, they went to the park. On Sundays, they made pizza at home. Every outing, every laugh, every bedtime story was a thread that tied her and her children closer together. Meyer taught her kids how to cook, how to grow vegetables on the balcony, and how to write emotion journals. There was no man in that home, but there was never a lack of love. The eldest, her first daughter, once asked, "Mom, are you sad that Dad's not here?" She smiled, gently stroked her daughter's head, and replied, Yes. But I choose not to let sadness control me. 1 year after the divorce, Meyer published her first post on her personal blog, a single mother's journey of starting over. The post spread quickly. Thousands of mothers commented, shared it, and sent messages of encouragement. That post caught the attention of an editor at the New York Times. They interviewed her. A month later, Meyer appeared in the Women Who Inspire section. In the photo, she sat at her small consulting desk, her 3 children playing in the background, sunlight shining on her hair. The bolded quote read, "I once thought my life ended after the divorce, but it turned out it was only the beginning." Meyer wrote a book. The title was My Life, No Glamour. No mercy. Just a simple retelling of the days that seemed impossible to survive, and how she made it through, step by step. In the final chapter, she wrote, "No matter how bleak the future may seem, as long as you keep trying, you will become the torch that lights up your own life." A career is much like destiny, full of unexpected ups and downs. But don't be afraid. As long as you put in the effort, you will overcome every hardship. What matters is learning new skills to increase your value. Today, Meyer still lives in the same old apartment, still gives nutrition consultations, still wakes up at 5 a.m. to run, and every night still kisses her 3 children goodnight on the forehead. She is not wealthy, but she is strong. Not famous, but enough to inspire thousands. And she never, ever lets herself fall. Meyer's story is a powerful testament to a simple yet profound truth. Adversity is not the end of a sentence, but a comma, a pause before you write the next chapter of your life. In moments when it seemed everything was lost, a broken marriage, a declining career, 3 young children to care for, Meyer didn't choose to complain or run away. Instead, she faced reality, rebuilding her life step by step with resilience, discipline, and unconditional love for her children. The greatest lesson her story leaves behind is this: no one can rescue you from hardship but yourself. And as long as you don't collapse, everything can begin again. Asterisk, asterisk. In a world full of uncertainty, where many give up when things fall apart, Meyer reminds us that success doesn't have to be spectacular. Standing strong through the storm is already a victory. And true happiness is sometimes just seeing your child smile because you had the strength to stay standing. Keep striving every day, because you're not just living for yourself. You are also the pillar for those who love you.